I like very much your 5 precepts, and I would really like to follow them. And in the same time, I do not know possibly how to follow them. Though I would like to do it for myself and being a good example for my children and for everybody. But in practical life, I think I would need to take a refuge in a hut somewhere in the woods to possibly fulfill them. Because whenever I switch my light on, I'm supporting nuclear energy who is harming humanity, nature, everything. When I pick up my telephone, I have a machine in my hand where the minerals are causing war in Africa, where the production in China is everything but respectful to life or to nature or to anything, where when I put on my trousers, they come from somewhere in Bangladesh where people, mostly women or children, are exploited to make them as cheap as possible, for we can buy lots of them, much more than we need. I don't know even how to fulfill the first precept and not talking about the others. That's maybe why I take refuge in not following the last one, and I hide myself in social networks and post things about the bad things. But yeah, I know it's a huge question, and most probably there's not one answer, but yeah, but I would like some help in this.
I need to correct one thing. It's not precept. It's a 5 mindfulness training. Training means you don't do it. You cannot do it 100%, but you go in that direction. You do not need to climb onto the polar star, but you go in the direction north. So you still have to step by step, small step or big step.
Dear Thai, dear community, I can feel your struggle. I know I have the same struggle from time to time. The way of life which has become normal for most of us in a modern civilization, it's just like you said. It has it's deep. The comfort and the ease that we experience in our riches, our wealth, is deeply connected to so much suffering. Yeah. I think that on one level, the correction that Sister Chen Khom just made is very helpful, and you can go far with that. At least in relationship to the mindfulness trainings, to the 5 mindfulness trainings, that to practice them, to take them and practice them, means to each day to learn how to express one's life in mindfulness. And I don't want to say more mindfully. I just want to say that each day we need to do it. So for example, I have been eating a vegetarian diet since before I came into touch with this. When I was a teenager, I decided to do that. And before I came in touch with the Plum Village community and practice. And I know there have been times when I kind of think, oh, this is great. I do this and it has a good impact on the earth, right? Because there's a very deep connection between eating a vegetarian diet and the destruction of our environment. Not all of us are aware of that, but more greenhouse gas pollution is created in the agriculture sector than in the transportation, right? So what we choose to eat can be an action. But even so, I sometimes think, oh, I've got that. I've accomplished that, I've done that. But that's not the mindfulness training. The mindfulness training, insofar as being aware of what I'm eating, is every day to grow that awareness. Every time that I buy food, every time that I eat the food, to continue to have this awareness that you expressed, but also to have the awareness that I have the capacity in this moment to choose something, to do something, step by step, breath by breath, sometimes tender embrace, and sometimes a very clear action. Right? So that we are continuously learning and growing in our practice, and we don't ever fully succeed and have it. We say no attainment, right? There isn't this attainment of something, but we are in the process of always learning and growing on that path. I think it's also very important to be aware that we are not only producing some suffering by the way we live, but we are also producing, we can produce a lot of joy, a lot of happiness. We can bring a lot of transformation and healing, even if you still have a cell phone or wear those jeans from Bangladesh, right? Your actions in your daily life can create a tremendous amount of good and well-being. So we also have to water the seeds of understanding and compassionate action, and be careful not to get caught in thinking a thinking which runs in a circle of suffering. You know, everything is suffering, everything is suffering, everything is suffering, everything is suffering. And you keep turning those thoughts over in your mind, then what you do starts to reflect that, and you sink into despair. And pretty soon, even if you're an activist, you can't be active anymore. Right? You're paralyzed. So we need to take care of ourselves inwardly also by watering the seeds that give us strength and give us freedom, the seeds that give us understanding and very importantly, as was mentioned earlier about smiling, joy. Yeah. If we corrected all the errors of production and consumption, but none of us could smile, that would be a horrible place to be. So it's very important that we have those elements also, and that we stay aware of all of that. We are a part of the earth. Every step that we take, every decision we make in our daily life can bring us this tremendous sense of belonging and happiness, that we are a part of life, right? We're not something separate. The problem isn't out there. The problem isn't in here. The joy isn't out there and I'm missing it, or has to be given from here to there. We are a part of a web of life. We belong to that. And that's healing. That's stabilizing on one level, but it's also the responsibility on the other, right? To be aware that our actions do have that impact, and to continually train. So the 5 mindfulness trainings are actually the perfect thing, in my point of view. They're the perfect tool, because each day they call you back to hold the suffering and the joy, and to do your best in each moment to make a choice. which brings about something wholesome, something good.
Excuse me, I add some more very important question in my answer. In order to train yourself, you need a sangha, a group of friends. Because I remember that some people here complain that in the past we are not like that, and now it's so much of violence, and teenagers can bring guns and shoot to their friends. Never happened like that 50 years, 60 years ago. And it's the same for Vietnam now. Many friends complain to me that all these ethical things, guidelines in the past disappear. And young people can do something very bad toward their parents and so on. And what can we do? And when you ask that question, I see some tears in your eyes. And you are not the only one. Many people who have concern suffer like you. And there is a wise man who is not Buddhist, is Martin Luther King. He told Thầy, he said that sometimes I'm overwhelmed by violence and then I think that I have to set up beloved community. He said, but he do not set up yet. It means beloved community, a group of friends who try to resist using all the ethical things he learned from Christianity to balance with the bad thing happen in society. And Thầy said that when you start to take 5 training, the first thing you have to vow is to recite at least every 2 weeks. Because in Buddhist tradition, you have to rehearse, look deeply, read these training, the full moon and the new moon. So it means every 2 weeks. And you recite alone, it's not enough. You recite with your sangha. And you say that, oh, I took the first training, but yesterday I have to kill a lot of bees who are very dangerous to my granddaughter in the garden, what I can do. But others say that you don't need to do that. I have seen some brother in Plum village, they have a huge beehive under the turtle lodge, and they put a lot of incense. At night when people go in, lock the door, and we put the incense, and then the bees cannot accept the incense and they flee, they fly away. And other friends say that, oh, on the little insect in my clothes at home, then you put some camphora, things like that. So you share the practice with the Sangha to improve. And you share that, wow, my gene is very cheap because it's come from Bangladesh, and I feel bad to wear that. And then other friends can say that, well, but you can do other things, and you can buy other things in cheaper, and also we help those who had, there's some shop who do a number of handicrafts work and it's cheaper or so on. So it means you share with your Sangha the practice. When you recite the first training and you say, oh, I'm stuck with that, and other people share, the collective insight will bring more than your own insight. And that is very important. And Thầy used to say that if you take the 5 training and in 3 months you never recite, the transmission is nullified. You are no longer my student. So please remember the wisdom of Martin Luther King and of Thich Nhat Hanh. We set up a Sangha. Beloved community is a Sangha to practice together the guideline of Christianity and the 5 training, 14 training, etc.